Hello, I'm Shane Ham, and I'd like to talk to you about school vouchers and why I feel we need a disruption in the status quo of our primary educational system. Today's businesses live in constant fear of disruptive technology. They worry about the next big idea that may make their service or product obsolete. If a business doesn't adapt and innovate, it won't keep its customers coming back. A 2016 Gallup poll found that only 47% of parents in the United States were satisfied with the quality of their child's schools. Any industry that boasts a customer satisfaction rate of under 50% seems to be asking for some kind of disruption. And that disruption could come in the form of school vouchers, reimbursements issued by the school district for parents' expenses to put their child in a different school, allowing them to select schools in other zones or districts, or even private schools that are a better fit for their kids. In a prolific 1995 interview with Computer World magazine, Steve Jobs spoke to what he believed school vouchers would bring to the K through 12 educational system. Jobs felt that schools would begin to market themselves to parents. A business customer relationship would be created where the schools would provide educational services that people really wanted. He also thought that a lot of new schools would be created to meet new demands. Schools with various specializations would start up and strive to earn market share to get and keep students. He also believed that the quality of schools would increase in a competitive market. New schools would need to be good to attract students, and existing schools would have to improve to compete with the new schools. So why don't we have vouchers already? What's keeping everybody from getting on board and demanding that we move to this system? There are concerns with vouchers. In a study for the Public Policy Institute of UPenn Wharton School for Business, McGoodwin and Narayanan summarized the three most common concerns with school vouchers. The first one being that vouchers appear to violate the separation of church and state. But if vouchers could be used at schools of all religious denominations, the state wouldn't be favoring any one religion in particular. Also, religious schools would only be a small portion of the available options for families to choose from once the voucher system was up and running. People also thought that voucher programs don't work. Existing voucher programs have an incredible list of restrictions and qualifiers before they can be used. If school choice was truly a free market funded by school vouchers, that available funding would fuel competition. Severely limited implementation isn't enough to make that happen. The third concern was that voucher programs actively harm our failing public school systems. This perspective arises from the assumption that funding is directly proportional to the success of a school. Christopher Summers, the founder of the Maryland Public Policy Institute, addressed this assumption in his 2016 article for the Baltimore Sun. He looked at Baltimore City, who spent the fourth highest amount per pupil of the 100 largest school districts in the United States. But they had less than 20% of their grade 3 through 8 students that met or exceeded expectations on the national PARCC tests. It shows that guaranteed funding doesn't guarantee success in education. In order for free market effects in education to truly be realized, vouchers have to be fully implemented. And what does that look like? Full implementation requires the following two things. School vouchers need to be for the full amount of the district's per pupil cost. Justin Haskins, writing on vouchers for The Hill, stated that voucher amounts are almost always much lower than what it costs for a student to attend a traditional public school. Why should the district retain so much of the per pupil cost if they aren't providing services to that pupil anymore? The new school should get that money. The second thing is that there can't be unnecessary restrictions on voucher uses. Parents should be able to choose from any accredited school they want. This would fuel competition among the schools, and it would drive the improvements that we want to see. Once those two conditions are met, you'll see the full free market effects in education. A competitive education market brought on by school vouchers would create differentiated schools targeted to students' academic possibilities, their talents, their interests. You would see online hybrid schools for children that had access issues. The primary education system would become as targeted and successful as our college and university systems. And you'd see increased student engagement and graduation rates. We need to start thinking about our children's educational services differently. We need to apply the same level of expectations to them that we have when we choose a restaurant, a car mechanic, or a doctor. In order to support those expectations, we need quality options to choose from. School vouchers are the disruptive technology that will create those options and bring a better, more effective school system into existence. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you'll consider vouchers.